the European Chemical Agency has a very important future. You are already developing very important policy goals, improve the quality of life of our citizens, preserve and enhance our environment, support innovation. I think all these are very important goals in a sector which is the chemical sector, which is very important for jobs and growth in Europe. And the Sustainable Development Goals aim at preserving this high level of development. Sustainable development is the future for Europe, but there is also a very important international agenda.
Managing chemicals safely is essential for sustainable development, which requires clean water, clean air, safe products for healthy people. So REACH and CLP both provide very important frameworks, and a tremendous amount of information has been generated. That's a great step forward. There are still issues to be addressed, some gaps to be closed, but all in all, this vast information base will provide benefits also beyond the EU.
We have put in place REACH, CLP, pesticides, biocide, all this is on track. I think you need to also continue delivering benefits for SMEs in terms of streamlining, in terms of simplification, in terms of the fees. And I think what is very important is that to keep the very high standards, because I think at the end of the day, the success of the Chemical Agency will be the success of European chemical policy, and it will be also the success of Europe in having more prosperity, more jobs, and better quality of life for our citizens.
And we see three main priorities. First is to have a stricter focus on the no data, no market provision to ensure safe use is really achieved. And the second is to have better synergies with existing laws, other laws such as the Water Framework Directive and other EU legislation to maximize the effects of these laws. And the third, most important point from our point of view is to have a better regulation and quicker regulation on substances of very high concern. So all in all, the efforts taken in the circular economy, but also for the sustainable developmental goals, will depend a lot on how successful Europe or the world is in cleaning up the supply chains, getting rid of substances of very high concern in processes, products, and supply chains.
So there is a clear understanding within industry that 2018 is clearly not the end. There will be a continuation of the process in which companies will indeed look at what is further needed, how can we improve the quality of the dossiers where it is needed, and how to come indeed to a safer environment in general.
The discussion over the last 2 days have made it very clear that a lot of the procedures have to be accelerated to come to decisions on regulating some of these very worrying substances. Otherwise, I'm afraid we will not meet the 2020 goal.
Europe has one of the most developed and sophisticated environmental and climate change policies in the world. 95 out of 100 citizens support the European Union's policy in environment. 9 out of 10 believe that environment is important and that we are bringing added value in quality of life, in sustainable development. So Europe has a very good story to tell.
What is bad for human health, the environment, cannot be good for the economy in the long run. ChemTrust would like to see a stronger emphasis on substitution. There's currently still too little focus on rewarding those companies that are investing in safe alternatives. Instead, we're having discussions on authorizing DHP in PVC for consumer products, although there's plenty of alternatives. So instead, we need a clear business signal that says, if investments are taken into replacements of chemicals, these will be the companies that are rewarded.
Well, what we see this legislation costs money. It's a cost that we don't have outside of Europe. On the other hand, we see that some companies have been really using this to look at their product portfolio, their positioning on the market. REACH and CLP have or will have been resulting in major improvements, essentially much more downstream, where there was clearly less communications on the safe use of chemicals.
One should not be afraid of chemicals, but I think we have to use the principle of precaution. We have to realize that there are very hard-working people, that Europe has the expertise to have first-class chemical industry, and at the same time we also have first-class regulation to ensure that the substances that are being put into the market are safe and that our citizens are reassured. But I think we should look at the chemical industry as one of the most innovative, one of the most dynamic, and one of the assets which Europe has for the future.
I have a quite good feeling of what we are surrounded with. I must say, yes, I feel living in a safe environment for myself, for my kids, and for my grandchildren. But yes, I am taking care of what I am buying.
Being a chemist myself, I'm of course very interested and very aware, but we can't expect that all consumers become chemical experts. Consumers should be sure and assume that their products are safe. But there's still a long way to go. It's really the next generation's health that will be the judgment call on the decisions and measures taken today.